Okay, so I have a very important story to tell because my life has been forever traumatized and changed because of this event that has happened to me. If you've read the title, you understand. There were wasps, like actual living, breathing, flying wasps in my house. It was the most frightening experience I have ever been through in my entire life. And I just need to recount the story to hopefully get some closure in my heart and in my mind, because this just... No. Anyone who has ever seen me outside ever knows that I don't like insects, because it just... They frighten me. They frighten me deeply. Like, anything that flies is just too powerful, and they can easily just come at me at any moment, and I don't like it. I really, really don't. So, wasps in my house. I felt so attacked. I still feel attacked for reasons that I'll get into at the end of this video, but let's start at the beginning of the story. One day, I think a month or so ago, my neighbor, I think they were my neighbor, some person just came up to my house and they rang the doorbell and they were like, I don't know if you know this, but you have a bee's nest at the back of your house. And we were like, what? Okay. Someone else in my house went to go check it out. I was like, oh yeah, there's a bee's nest there. And I was like, I don't want to mess with that. I'm not even gonna look at it. I was like, okay, that's weird. Why would a bee's nest be against my house? But okay, whatever. Out of sight, out of mind. I forgot about it for a while. And then the eclipse, this big major eclipse happened, and I was like, I want to see it. So I went outside to my backyard, put on my eclipse glasses, and just sat in this lawn chair and just like looked at this eclipse happening. I was like, this is really cool, except there was this weird bee-like thing right next to me at the side of the house, and I was like eyeing it because I was like, it could come attack me at any moment, and I just wanted to chill and sit in this chair, but I couldn't because this thing was right there, and it was just like, it's sat against the house for like a good 30 minutes, and it was very frightening to me. And I was like, I don't like this. It didn't look like a bee, but it looked bee enough because it was yellow, it was black, and I was like, I guess it's just some sort of weird type of bee that I don't know. But I was just like eyeing it, very uncomfortable, but I was still enjoying the eclipse. Now, the way that I'm sitting is I'm facing towards the sun, which has my back to the house and to like the main part of like the house. So I can't really see any of the house from where I'm pointing to because I am pointing away from the house to look at the sun. Now, I'm taking a break from looking at the sun and watching this eclipse because the glasses say don't look at it for longer than 3 minutes. So I'm just like sitting on my phone trying to not focus on this flying insect thing against the house. And I get up because another flying insect wanted to come attack me, and I'm just like, nope, not dealing with that. I'm just like swatting around me, high-key freaking out. I turn around, look up, and there is a giant wasp nest at the top of my house. And as you remember before, someone told me there were bees there. These are not bees. These are wasps. Angry, vicious, no point to society wasps. These are not the sweet, just trying to do their job, endangered bees. These are evil, harmful, violent, disrespectful wasps. I have seen many bees' nests, not in real life, but in pictures and such, in my life, so I know what a bee's nest looks like. That bitch was not a fucking bee's nest. It looked nothing like a bee's nest. Bees' nests are ovular, and they're more yellow. This thing was evil and gray, and I'm getting actual shivers just thinking about it. I hate it so much. It looked horrendous, and it looked terrifying, and I was so frightened. I was like, okay, screaming, on the verge of tears, losing my mind at this point. So I call my mom. She's at work. I feel bad for bothering her, but I'm also on the verge of tears because I'm like, this is so scary. I don't mess with insects. I don't mess with anything of the sort. So something attached to the side of my house is not okay. I'm calling my mom. I'm telling her there is a wasp nest against the house. This is not okay. And she's just like, the eclipse is basically over. Just go inside. I'm like, no, I want to see the full eclipse. So I stood outside some more. I was on the phone with my mom looking at the sun until like maybe 10 or so minutes later. And I'm still freaking out about this wasp nest. And my mom's like, you need to go inside. You're losing your mind. You're going to hyperventilate and you're going to pass out outside. You need to go inside. So I just finally give up. I go inside. And I'm still freaking out because I'm like, they're wasps. Wasps they are homing next to my home. This is why I was losing my mind. So I was like, this needs to be dealt with immediately. So my mom finds this wasp removal person, and I have to look through this website to like contact them and say, you need to come to my house this second to remove these wasps from my premises. But to do that, I need to figure out what kind of flying insect we're dealing with. So I have to look through this page of wasps that are native to the area to figure out what kind of wasp it is. And thankfully, there were only 2 kinds of wasps that don't burrow in homes, because apparently wasps are either aerial or whatever the other name for it was, where they bury underground and in homes, like in walls. That's terrifying. I'm very frightened of that. Wasp guy said that it's very rare and I shouldn't be frightened of it, but I'm frightened regardless. But these were thankfully not inside our walls, they were outside, and there's only 2 kinds that are outside wasps. One that was very black and one that was yellow and black. And I was like, I saw one. It wanted to fight me for 30 minutes. It's this one. And apparently those are called aerial yellow jackets. And I know that this sounds nothing like tracker jackers, but in my mind, all I could think of when I read that name was, this is the Hunger Games. These are the tracker jackers. This is the day I die. Because anyone who knows anything about tracker jackers or the Hunger Games knows that those things do not mess around. Those things are out to kill. And I was like, I am not gonna be no damn career. I'm not getting killed by these tracker jackers. They gotta go. So I contact this wasp person and he's like, I can be here Sunday. And I'm like, okay, 6 days later, but you know, it's fine. I will survive the 6 days without wanting to burst into tears any second I look outside. I will be fine. And somehow I did survive these 6 days, and this bee man came and he removes the nest and all is hopefully good. But he, in the process of doing this, delivers me a lot of unsettling news. Apparently, the wasp's nest got so large because this is at the very end of their season and they were about to go into hibernation. And if they were to go into hibernation and they were to survive the winter, they would have spread across the neighborhood and infest more homes with their wasp nests. So that was terrifying. Glad we didn't start an epidemic. And apparently this type of wasp is very aggressive. Like, if you just like look at it wrong, it will sting you. That's why that wasp was eyeing me for 30 minutes to see if I wanted to fight it. These things were not messing around. They were ready to kill. But thankfully they're gone. Even though the wasp guy said they could come back next season. He says that the likelihood is low, but there's still a possibility that they could come back next season. So I could have this issue all again next year, which is just so fun. And you would think that those would be like the least of my worries. But no. There was another wasp nest. It wasn't as big and it wasn't as threatening, but it was right by the back door. And it was very tiny, almost not noticeable. Thankfully, my mom noticed it. He took care of that as well. But it was apparently a different species of wasp. There were 2 different kinds of wasps living in my home. That is just the most terrifying thing ever. Like, finding out that there were not 1 but 2 species of wasps living in my home that could possibly come back next year, I'm just frightened to my core. This didn't make me feel any better. I'm now just frightened all over again. I'm just gonna stop thinking about it. Hope to go back to that out of sight, out of mind thing. I don't like bugs. I really, really hate them. I'm so scared. It's just so frightening. I don't like it. No. But for anyone interested, not here to judge. If anyone's interested in knowing what this like wasp nest looked like, I took pictures for reference. I took pictures of it before it was removed, the day I found it on the day of the eclipse, and I took a picture of it in a bucket after the wasp removal person removed it and put it in a bucket full of water to drown the wasps. Also, apparently this wasp nest was filled with queens. Like, there were a lot of queens in this wasp nest. Like, this was a strong monarchy. They were not messing around. Like, it's just so frightening the more I think about it. I don't like it. But yeah, going back. If anyone was interested in seeing what they look like, I'm going to put pictures on the screen in a second. For people who don't want to see it, just wait until I tell you that they're off the screen. So, close your eyes now. And now the photos are on the screen. This is a photo of me standing in my backyard, just pointing my camera at the wasp nest. It doesn't look that big on camera, but my mother said it was the size of a women's basketball, which is apparently very large. So I was very frightened. And this next picture is a picture of it in the bucket. You can see all the dead wasps and the rings of the nest. And now it is off the screen. Everyone's okay. Do I regret making this video to, like, rehash all these emotions? Kind of. Do I hope that this could be the last that I should ever think of this and nothing like this ever bothers me again? Yes. Is the threat of it happening again still very real? Yes. Will I still be frightened of it every waking moment of my life? Probably. Like, the most relieving thing to know I can step outside my home without the constant threat of death